folks, I am back with some brand new Project L footage to show you guys. This is hot off the presses, and we've got a new character to take a look at. Here he is. It's Yasuo. So, yeah, Yasuo is now officially announced for Project L, and I can finally talk about this guy because I spent a long time playing him when I got to demo the game at the Riot offices, and I have a lot to say about why I think he's a very cool character and very creatively translated to a fighting game. Look, you guys can see we all got these signed posters framed here from the folks over at Riot for all the people who got to demo the game. And I picked Yasuo for my character, which meant I couldn't show this to you guys until now. But here you go. Here's my beautiful Yasuo print. But let's talk about the character, okay? So you might expect, you know, Yasuo, he's a sword character, right? A sword character in a assist type fighter. Probably going to play something like Virgil, which, you know, he has a bit of that, right? So he's got like some cross-up moves where he'll pass through you and then slash you on the back, you know, very samurai styled. But he is also a stance character, which is very cool. So he's got a stance that he goes into with down plus special 2, and this has just like a million follow-ups. So this has a stomp where it hits low. This has like an anti-air follow-up that's gonna launch so that you can jump cancel and combo off it. He can dash follow-up from the stance. He can jump follow-up, so there are a ton of different options, and the follow-ups can actually be canceled back into the stance, so he can do some very cool loops like you're seeing right now. He can do some very ridiculous mix-up pressure. So yeah, I was very impressed by the character, and I think that he's really, really fun. He is playable at EVO right now, so you're probably going to get to see more footage of him as more people play the game and check it out. You can see another one of his specials right there, which is the wind wall. So this move's kind of interesting because it stops projectiles. But of the 4 playable characters right now, none of them are really that projectile oriented. So it doesn't have much usage for that. But it has another very interesting use, which is it modifies some of his special moves if they collide with the wind wall. So his standing special 1 is kind of like a long range like slash, and if that goes through the wind wall, all of a sudden it becomes this like massive full screen hitbox that you'll probably see a few times. And his special 2 is like a stationary fireball. It just kind of spins in place. It's like a little dagger that spins in place, and if that hits the wind wall, it turns into this crazy tornado that has a ton of hits and will lock the opponent down. So yeah, he has a lot of mix up in terms of like hitting you, go into the stance, and then you have to guess on the follow-up, and then the follow-up can go back into the stance, so he can pressure really well, and he can knock you down, he can set up the wind wall, and he can use that for Okizeme purposes to keep you locked down. So yeah, I was very impressed by playing Yasuo. I'm going to take a closer look here at this gameplay and kind of try to play-by-play for you and explain some of the stuff we're seeing. So you can see he has a wind wall assist, which is very interesting. I think in a lot of matchups, this assist isn't going to be that useful because, again, it just modifies projectiles, or it stops projectiles. So if you're not worried about projectiles, it's not going to be that good. But he has that other assist, which is his running slash assist. And that one just seems really good in general. So there you can see he's tagging off of his projectile to create some plus frames for the incoming character, which is very cool. We actually got a burst bait right there. But here we get the long knockdown. That's actually what happens if you try to use 2 wall bounces in a combo or 2 ground bounces. You're limited to only 1 of those per combo. So if you try to do 2, you get like this little cutscene that's basically like, okay, the combo's over. But now we got a corner launcher combo. It's going to get bursted. That's fine. You can see him poking with S1. That's his long range slash. That is going to become even longer range, as you can see right there if he pokes through the wind wall. And there's the tornado when the projectile interacts with the wind wall. So his neutral is very tricky and very interesting. And you can see he has this diagonal down forward diving attack, which reminds me a lot of a character like Milia or something. So you can see he's canceling that into the stance and then doing the anti-air follow-up to the stance, which he can jump cancel. So that's how he enables some of his really cool combos. He has another thing that I don't think is actually shown in these videos, which is he's one of the only characters that can combo from level 1 into level 2 by himself. So you might know that there is a fuse in the game, which is like this game's selectable groove system. There's a fuse that lets you do your point character's super and then go into your next character's super. But I found for Yasuo, he doesn't really need it because he can just go from level 1 into level 2 by itself. So this tornado level 1 will actually juggle into his level 2, which is really satisfying to do if you have 3 meters. So it seems like he might be a better anchor because he's really good with a lot of meter, but then again, like tagging is really freeform and easy to do in this game. By the way, look at the huge parry on the Darius move. So, you know, we've been talking a lot about how this game may as well be called Project D because of how good Darius is. But I've seen in some of this Yasuo footage especially, the testers are really good at parrying, which is really good against Darius because, as it turns out, Darius' huge, slow, powerful moves are going to be some of your best options to try to parry. So he's punishing the assist here, and there he lands that cross-up, like I was saying, similar to Milia. You are going to have to switch the direction you block. Going for the tag in on Darius here, and nice active tag off the assist into the launcher, and there he actually canceled into the up diagonal slash ender for the stance, which is down plus H when you're in the stance, and that is going to wall bounce airborne opponents. So that is another great combo extender for him. But right now he is getting juggled by Darius. This is the classic right here, but we'll just burst into an active tag into Ahri here. Ahri versus Darius. We've seen this all day. This was already in so much of the footage that we've already seen of the game. She's going to go into her level 2 cinematic super here, or cinematic ult, I should say. Do some charm here on Darius. I hope we get to see Yasuo level 2. Here, we're going to active tag in Yasuo. He's beating up on the assist here, and oh, look at this, guys. Repeated low follow-ups, just going stance low, stance low, stance low. But Darius, he does have an armored special to go through all of that. So, oh, there's the nasty cross-up. That is the dash forward ender on his stance. Gonna be so hard to block. And yeah, you can see he has kind of that helm breaker. Oh, he did do level 1 into level 2. I didn't know we were actually gonna see this in the footage. That is so hype. Slash the moon in half. That is so cool, and it perfectly kills the character. Ooh, this character's so sick, dude. There you can see another cross-up. Active tag into Ahri. I just feel like Yasuo, he's really like made to be a fighting game character, don't you think? He just fits perfectly in this genre. You know, translating him over from League, I think they did a really great job. But we've got another match to look at. This one's going to be a little bit shorter because there's no timeouts in this one. You know, Justin and I and Kizzy, we talked about timeouts in the game. Timeouts were definitely somewhat frequent. I would say like every 1 in 4 or so matches we saw a timeout. But I feel like, you know, once we get the combos and the flow of the game down, it's going to be a lot less common because, yeah, like in Marvel vs. Capcom 3, there were timeouts in that game when it was brand new, and now games end in like 10 seconds in that game. So, yeah, I think it's just going to be us catching up to the game and figuring everything out. But here you can see another happy birthday, man. So, yeah, that helm breaker move, he gets the OTG after. I like him OTGing with 2A while they're on the ground, or 2L if you will. And then going for a setup, and then he can actually cancel that OTG attack into the stance to go for mix. He went for the stance into low there, but Darius is using armor to go through. He's got the wind wall set up, which I don't really think is going to do much, but here we got another juggle ender. Tries to call Ahri to pressure after the OTG, but just gets smoked by Darius. Oh my gosh, Project D. I like Darius using the retreating guard there to try to get some space, but very nice tag into Yasuo to end up on the other side. But these red life bars are getting kind of scary. I think that's going to be curtains for Ahri. So Yasuo is going to come in with very low health. I think this might be the near impossible comeback, but I would like to see it. We got the burst into active tag into tag right back. Okay, Yasuo's getting his juggle on. You can see there is, oh, tried something really tricky there. But yeah, you can see the down heavy stance ender with the wall bounce. But wait a minute, we got a parry on Darius. Parius, we may as well call him. Going with the helm breaker ender. And there you can see using the stance follow-ups to try to go for some mix, but just gets thrown by Darius on wake up. So good attempt. But yeah, you got to be really careful against Darius. Him having armor moves is definitely going to make you think twice about all your pressure with Yasuo. That move where he does kind of a flip in the air, you saw it right there. He like spins around and hits you twice with the sword. That is actually his down H in the air. And it is a universal mechanic that all down H's in the air will have a cross-up hitbox and be able to hit on the back. So there Yasuo getting another big parry here against Darius and swagging on him. The level 1 OTG, and they're using chained light attacks to actually beat the armor. So yeah, the armor is good, but it's only one hit. So by doing the repeated light attacks there, he was actually able to stuff out Darius's armor. And almost, I wanted to believe there that he was going to get the OTG combo off the throw with the tag, but not quite. But Ahri is able to take out Darius there. So we just got Yasuo on the player 2 side, trying to hold it down. Ahri comboing off Fireball, so strong. You know, bursting with the dead Darius, but now Last Stand is ready, which could matter a lot. Last Stand is the comeback mechanic. It's going to allow Darius to come in and do a super powered assist, but look at this damage. This was like super unscaled. So yeah, you can't loop that forever because of hit stun scaling, but if it's like the start of the combo like that, you can just see that did incredibly massive damage because none of those early hits were very highly scaled, and Yasuo was he was able to get a ton of relaunches with that stance cancel. So Ahri does manage to close it out. We're going to the last round here, guys. I don't want the video to end, man. I'm getting too hyped. Show me more. All right, so we got Windwall versus Windwall, and he's stabbing the Windwall to get the massive sword hitbox, but Ahri is in. This is where Ahri thrives. Close range, rush down, mix-up character, active tag into Yasuo, and oh, I was ready to see some hype, but I think hit stun scaling was too high here. But again, we're going to get the not very highly scaled Yasuo combo here, dealing quite a bit of damage into the level 1. That's a cool 50%. Tagging into Darius, but gets stuffed out here by the sword normals from Yasuo. Having that extra range on all these normals really makes Yasuo super strong on the ground. He doesn't have like an air dash or a double jump or anything. You know, he has those like sliding horizontal and diagonal slashes in the air, so he has some air mobility, but generally he is a character who's going to be way better on the ground, I would say. So Darius taking him out here in the corner off of a 2L combo starter. Now it's just Ahri on player 1 side. Gonna have to make the final stand here. Not able to actually utilize the last stand mechanic until Ahri is at half health, but pressuring off of that super call, going for the overhead into air dash and taking out Darius. Okay, it's gonna be battle of the remaining characters here. Ahri versus Yasuo. You can see with that level 1, if she actually avoids the level 1 so she doesn't catch it, it'll go like an extra time so she gets the combo. Yasuo slashing through the wind wall to get extra range once again. That move is huge, but Ahri doesn't quite kill there. I don't know if that was a drop or if that was just a combo that doesn't work because of the hit stun scaling, but there we see the last stand from Darius dealing huge damage. And is Yasuo going to be able to kill here? Knockdown into OTG. Super is going to kill. Let's go. So yeah, you can see the last stand from Darius actually contributed quite a lot of damage to that final combo. But yeah, Yasuo, my overall impressions of the character from playing him, he's very, very fun. He's very stylish. Because of the different stance cancels and stuff, you can be really creative with the character, and his combos are just so fun to do and so fun to watch. So I really, really liked Yasuo. I hope if you guys are at EVO right now, you'll take the time to go play it on the show floor. But otherwise, there's going to be a lot more footage coming out because people are starting to get their hands on the game at the EVO demo and stuff like that. I think there's going to be a lot of hype Project L action for you guys to look at. So I'm going to end the video right there. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you again to Riot for the footage and for letting me play Yasuo. It was a ton of fun.